your seed.
Why?
Well, to sleep with it.
And as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here.
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
1
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna what did
Chris
you think
likes
of
Cass?
I like.
What have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
Abs was
And
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. Just sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong. Sorry.
Sorry. I couldn't not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Death
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack
now.
him across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the face. We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first one to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Indigo Connect, and hey.
Sit back, dear friends, and hear the tale, when fairies flew and ships did sail. You know the stories often told, of Peter Pan, both brave and bold, of Tinker Bell, clever and smart, of evil men born black of heart, adventure and treasure buried in sand, time held its breath in Neverland. But darkness fell on the island fair, A sickness rose of no compare. Each creature and plant fell one by one. No respite found for anyone. So the island died, its people scattered. Those left behind, broken and battered. Years went by, no end in sight. Then through the darkness came new light. The island breathes and life returns. Within our heroes a fire burns. The drive to find those who are lost. To build a home at any cost. Join pixies, skeletons, a mermaid or two. Healers, never boys, and lost boys too. They're here each week, new stories told. So pull up a chair and never grow old.
That timing was not as perfect as last time. Hi, everybody! Welcome. It is Friday night, and I am a frantic-looking scribe, and we are playing a little Dungeons and Dragons here on Indigo Chameleon. We're so happy to have you here with us along for the ride tonight. As always, this next spot at the table is always saved for each and every one of you. So thank you. As that really handsome guy said not too long ago, we have a Discord. Come and hang out with us there. There's moments of inspiration and artistic creativity. You can see all the fun projects that some of our amazingly talented individuals here on the stream create and make. We are surrounded by artists, and it shows. We also have this cool hat and a merch store. Oh, and a march, as Meowth tried
March
to...
is one of the months of the year.
We're gonna march for merch, and it's pretty epic. You can buy cool little like mugs and T-shirts and like that mug. But it helps us keep the lights on. So thank you, everybody that's bought cool Indigo Chameleon merch.
I feel like I'm on Survivor. I'm drinking coconut water.
Are you drinking coconut water?
I am drinking
That
coconut
sounds
water.
really good. I might steal some
have
later.
some?
No, I'm good right now. I needs me a shower curtain as well. It's getting awkward. So upcoming schedule for this week. Today is Friday. We don't have anything going on Saturday, but Legend Hillary has a stream. I would highly encourage you to go over and watch Legend Hillary. She streams occasionally, not necessarily on Saturdays or Sundays or anything like that, but you can see her stream whenever she's on. So it's a good time. So please go check that out. And also a good friend of the channel, Icky V, has a D&D game. Circle of Ash has started their brand new season, which involves vampires and dinosaurs. And the minute she told me, I was like, what?
Vampire dinosaurs.
I don't.
Vampire.
No. You ride around on dinosaurs fighting vampires.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is now
Okay.
the first two wishes that Thistle's going to make with
I
the
was
new
gonna
genie.
say, can I bring Thistle?
Yeah.
I have to write some things down.
Write that down.
Write that down. So yes, that's going on. We don't have anything going on Saturday, Sunday. I think Monday we're good too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're 3 days.
Oh my
Whoa.
god. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Got the vapors. Tuesday, though, you can catch us in Wonderland. The group of heroes are starting to begin their trek towards ending this campaign as they move towards the capital city, and you will see Wonder for a little bit, but it looks like come July, we're leaning for July. It looks like Wonder will be replaced with Wanderlust, an exploration of Wildmount. So we encourage you to come and stick around for that. So Cal, I don't know if you saw Captain Slaymore, salute the captain,
Yes.
has granted you a +5 so you can get your sea legs with your new legs. So there you go, Pat. Some of you have noticed that in our Stream Points store, some of the prices have changed. There's new items being added and things of that sort. So if you see anything new in there in the upcoming days, and that's why we're doing some revamps and things of that sort. So, but that is going on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have a continuation of the one shot that we've been doing. Jack's Funhouse. I keep saying Captain Jack. Jack's Funhouse, which is a clown horror funhouse with some amazing players. So we encourage you to come and see that. It's
Each player more, each character more incompetent than the last.
it's supposed to be me doing something like scary, but I cast a whole bunch of people that are just immune to being scared by clowns, which is an ability that I wish I had. So,
you created your own prison here.
But
My
one
favorite thing was on the first episode of that. You're like, if this is going to be a one shot, and you're on episode 3.
it is very true. So come and join us there. Thursday we have The Lost Isle, which is a continuation of our science fiction meets D&D, where we deal with historical fiction and things of that sort. It's a lot of fun. And then on Friday, it will take us back around to Neverland. I think that's it for the upcoming schedule, and I think that's almost it in terms of announcements. I do want to say a special thank you to everybody that's been telling friends and things like that. We've had a recent boost in followers. And that's because of you. We don't pay for advertising of any sort here on the channel. So thank you from everybody here at Indigo Chameleon. But we also want to wish a very, very happy birthday to Torrid, our co-DM. Torrid has been supporting us here in Neverland from the jump. So a couple of times tonight, Torrid is going to get a private message from me where she is going to make the roll against you guys. Evil DM laugh here. And we're going to see if she can kill off another character tonight, because that's apparently what I do in Neverland. Happy birthday, Torrid. Thank you so much for your support. I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for the upcoming schedule. Once upon a time in Neverland, there was a frickin' goat. It was adorable. The group met Griffin, the king of all goats, and he spoke in a very regal and handsome voice. We were all left dumbstruck by Griffin the goat, who was our special guest star last week. The group met Griffin because Griffin was one of the last animals taken by the Mother Mimic, or the particular contingency of the Mother Mimic. So we had particular insight into the situation. The group met with Griffin in a cave, and through Meek's clever use of magics and her modification of speak with animals, the group was able to have a conversation. It was decided that the group go check on a contingency of the Lost Boys that were not too far away from this cave. Upon walking closer to this area, they discovered that there were several individuals that looked like men, but instead of skin, they had plant material where the skin would be. The men were trying to force their way into this Lost Boy sanctuary. However, through some clever thinking and some abrasive, hey, who are you? The group initiated a combat sequence with these individuals. I would encourage you to watch the episode. Due to some very, very brave actions by the group, the Lost Boys were saved, but unfortunately, Cal lost his life or unlife in the process. There was some quick thinking by the group, some putting of heads together and putting of minds together, and after that, Cal, the skeletal bard, was no more. And in his place is now Cal, the orc. You see this very tall figure. So I want to actually start this episode in an odd way. I want to start this episode with Cal describing what you look like now.
So Cal's new feature, like I've said like last episode, 7 foot to darker green, almost mossy color skin. The typical orc underbites, they come about mid-nose up. A longer black hair going down, and then almost shadowy on the face. If you took what Cal's human body looked like and blew it up in like Photoshop and gave it green skin, it's now what Cal the orc looks like.
Let me paint a picture, because there's a lot of chess pieces on the board right now, and I want you guys to be aware of the situation. Okay? The initial plan was to come out this way and immediately head back to the cave as like a safe sanctuary. However, night has fallen. It's pretty late at night now. The fire has been put out for the most part on the tree that the Lost Boys were held up in. Right now, there are 3 of them that are interrogating or are in intense conversation with the 2 plant men that you guys sort of stopped from running. How about that? They are also have 2 pirates over in that section that are not tied up, that are not held or bound in any way. You are all in the center of a small clearing next to where that tree was, and Cal has just sat up in a completely different form. The minute that Cal sits up, Meeks like smiles, looks very proud of herself, and then falls asleep. She has cast 2 very major spells in the span of like an hour, and it's essentially a scene from Monsters Inc. It is have face plant, and she's out. Heroes, what would you like to do?
We should probably make camp in the Lost Boys.
Yeah, let's see. Cal, how are you feeling?
You're green.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is your name still Cal? Or is it a different name?
No,
You
what
also
happened?
have this brow thing going on. It's like.
You died?
Again?
Yes.
Well,
You're
I guess
back?
Last time you died, you forgot everything. Did you forget everything again?
no. I
That's
just
good.
don't remember what happened.
Fire. Fire happened.
I remember the fireball, and then I heard the pirates go off, the muskets go off, and that was it.
How do you feel?
And he just sits there and just kind of like does the
Yeah. So Cal, you do a quick self-assessment. It's an odd feeling what you're going through right now. You've been brought back in a completely different form, and so getting your sea legs is going to be a thing as you're learning how these muscles work and things of that sort. I will say this, Cal, give me a wisdom save.
8.
Cal, you're overrun with emotion, buddy. It's a rough moment because for the first time in a very long time, your connection to the arcane is not there. You've always had this undercurrent of magic that you could access using your arts. It's always just been a steady flow that you could call upon. In this particular body, it ain't gonna cut it. Gaming Brew, thank you for the subscription. You're the best. But because of that, you are cut off from it. Okay, and it's Cal all of a sudden, like you see him sort of self-assessing. He's looking at his hands. He's looking at his feet, and then he just kind of slumps forward a little bit, as if by like holding onto a huge weight.
And he'll knowing what if he feels this, the first thing he would do is just like look at something and try to do pyrotechnics, and it just not work, and it just hit him hard.
Nope, it's nothing.
Down right next to him and just put my head on his shoulder.
I can't do it anymore.
Eris, there is no pain whatsoever.
Maybe you just need a nap. I mean, you went through a lot.
You did just die.
And just like, just trying to think of the spells that he had. Like, he just keeps trying to cast it, or message, or something, or just, he's kind of like gone frantic at this point. He's like, he like looked at Eris, like, and he like, do you hear anything? Like, he's just.
Slowpoke, are there beds in the tree? Could maybe
but
Meeks and Cal take a nap?
the tallest Lost Boy is about half of
half of his height.
We pushed together a bunch of beds.
A bed for Meeks, and I picked Meeks up.
Yep. So unfortunately, gang, unfortunately, this ain't built for adults. And now, Clip, Cal, Eris with her wingspan. Des, it might be a little tight for you, but you might be able to fit. Slowpoke might be able to, but even 14 is kind of pushing the limits.
No, he's a bit younger than that now. He's closer to 12 now.
Okay.
With all
Then I would say that physically speaking, you all can do that. You do. There is a bit of a cough from behind you, as you see one of the Lost Boys that you haven't met before. There's only 3 of them, and but there's one standing behind you right now who's trying to look taller than you. And failing miserably. He's kind of standing up on his tiptoes. And he goes, I'm the oldest, but they still want to talk to you.
Well, good. I'll talk to him. Who are you?
He doesn't say anything. He just kind of like looks at you and fronts a little bit.
Did you forget your name?
Have you not gotten one yet?
He pushes back from you and heads back to the group.
God, I never send boys to do a girl's job. I'm gonna stomp over towards the pirates and the other people.
Yeah. And also never send a boy to do a boy's job, and I'll go over too.
Good. Des, it's going to be very easy for you to fly up and bring Meeks in. Would you go in through like just the top and
Yeah, I'm dimming it.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah. You guys make your way over to where the this little party is met, and you see Birch and Ivory, which is the name of the other 2 green men, are being held there. Toodles is not saying anything, which is not uncommon. The new kid it isn't really saying anything, and they're kind of looking at the 3rd member of the group. Do you remember his name, Slowpoke?
Rock.
Yep.
No. Yeah.
Bark?
Nope. Rock.
Rock.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. He's got those glasses out, and he's kind of rubbing his eyes by taking his finger and like shoving it through the hole of the glasses, which don't have a lens, and he's just kind of rubbing them like this.
Though.
Yeah. And he looks over at you and Thistle and kind of like frowns at Thistle and sticks out his tongue, and then goes, the pirates didn't know what they were doing. They were under a spell, so I think we're gonna let them go. Because they didn't really know what they were doing, and I don't know what the rules are, and right now they just look really confused.
I think that's fair.
Well, you went into the tree.
Yeah.
We're not in the tree.
Oh.
Yeah. They're all outside.
Okay, they can go, but tell them if they come back, we're gonna beat them up.
If you come back, we're gonna beat you up.
Yeah.
And both the pirates kind of like both look at each other, they nod, and they kind of walk off into the air, night air. Leaving a little trail. Oh, Blue Squirrel has been summoned by Eris. Oh, hello.
Hello.
As these 2 walk off, Rock looks at the 2 plant men and goes, I think we should kill these 2.
Why?
They tried to set me on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know if these are the same kind of plant creatures that'll just reappear somewhere else?
Give me an Arcana check, Slowpoke. Clip, Cal, and Eris. Where are you while Des is taking care of Meeks and getting her set up? Are you guys still next to Cal, just kind of like consoling and helping him get? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Slowpoke and Thistle. Both of you. No, just Slowpoke. Give me.
I'm actually pretty good at Arcana. It was 12 on the dice, so 18 total.
Yeah, you have fought these guys before. Yeah, you call them green meanies. But
too.
but they always talk. Yeah, they always talk about how like if you get rid of one after a while, they always seem to like pop back up. But you're not sure how. There are encampments of green meanies, but they tend to be sort of secretive and very private about it.
Did the Neverboys encounter, like, did the Neverboys get along with the Green Meanies, or did they have conflict with the Green Meanies too?
I think you would all have had. This is a little side part. So green meanies between Slowpoke and Thistle are scavengers. Essentially, they stick to their own. They don't want to be a part of any council, but they are very closely tied to the Fae.
Okay.
Now, the bad part is green meanies have been known to incorporate spies. If a kid gets particularly homesick, the green meanies offer to send them home. Like if you've been here for a while, the green meanies can send you home, but they ask for intel on the Neverboys and the Lost Boys. Okay? So they can send people home. And that's what they're kind of known for. Torrid, I need you to give me 2 D20s and private message them to me, please. My little co-DM. But the boys kind of look to you, Slowpoke, as if they're looking for guidance. Be like, I think we should kill him.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just pop it somewhere else. We don't really have like a Lost Boy jail. That's a lot of work.
We could ask Dad to do it.
Who?
Our new father.
What are you talking about?
We have a dad.
You mean Peter?
And he kind of looks at you a little bit, like Rock looks at you, and you see this look of like, oh, from Toodles. Like he goes over to Rock and he's like, he points at Slowpoke and he does like this. He does like a. And Rock goes, oh, you've been away? You haven't met Dad?
No, I haven't met Dad.
Peter said we need Peter said we need a father. And so we
Peter was the father. Wendy was the mother. We had a system in place.
Peter's gone.
Well, I know that. So who's Dad?
He looks at Thistle and crosses his arms and goes, this isn't for you.
Yes, it is.
I don't need a dad.
Yeah. You hang out with girls now?
You hang out with dads now?
We always hang out with dads.
Fine, where's your dad?
Give me an intimidation check.
Well, I really need to stop trying to roll this particular die.
Okay.
That's a 9. I just need to
Torrid, that's perfect.
put that somewhere.
Put that somewhere. Okay. A 9. All right. Rock is gonna go over to you, Slowpoke. And be like, Dad puts them somewhere. Dad doesn't want us to kill, but he puts them somewhere. Pirates,
that sounds great.
Pirates.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pirates.
Who is Dad?
He takes a whistle, a little tin whistle out from his side, and he blows on the tin whistle. As he blows on the tin whistle, there is a long pause. And then a figure makes its way into the space. By makes its way into the space, you hear the trees moving first. It is not stealthy like Desbahai was. This is a very active. As you watch in the horizon, and Cal, Clip, and Eris, you would notice this too, as after a while, that the sound of movement gets closer and closer until all of a sudden there is a 3-point landing in the clearing. The figure that you see before you is not anything human adjacent. This thing is covered in what looks to be thorny armor. Armor that goes from like here to here. There is not a square inch of this individual that looks like it's made of skin. Like it's a wood that you can tell there are hinges in the armor. Okay? Think Iron Man made of wood.
So like Iron Man
Right.
Pinocchio.
Iron Man Pinocchio. Okay?
Man.
Thank you for that image.
As he comes into the clearing, he is flanked by 3 or 4 stones atop his head that are revolving like this. And as he pulls a hand up, he has flame that is over the wood. Does that make sense? So like the flame is climbing the wood, but the wood is not burning.
Right.
The 3 boys run up and hug Dad. They go up and they like hug, and like Dad kneels down in the armor and like shoves the boys really hard. Like the boys all go flying backwards. Like they hug him. It's a roughhouse. Like he shoves like Toodles, and Toodles goes flying backwards. He shoves Rock. The other kid jumps on Dad's back, and Dad picks up the kid and throws him into a tree. Like flies through the air. Like the kid takes damage, but the kid like shakes it off and like comes out of the tree, comes off the tree, and Dad stares in the clearing and looks at you all.
Your dad's scary.
Who are you?
I look at Slowpoke. I'm like, should we be worried about this?
I don't know. How scary can dads be? Cal, how scary can dads be? Oh.
Ha ha ha.
It's an inside thing. Anyway, who are you?
Who are you?
What?
Who are you?
I'm Slowpoke.
Where have you been, Slowpoke?
What?
Where have you been?
I was on a boat. We went to the Indian camp for a bit. There were these changeling people. We were on another boat. We went to like a sky place.
So not here.
Well, I was here too. Another place.
He bends down and looks at the children and says, "Where are they?" And he's kind of keeping one eye on Cal. And the kids point past where this group is, laying on the ground, towards the 2 green meanies. Dad is going to reach behind him, and you would hear a click as Dad pulls out a bag of holding that's huge. This thing has a hula hoop for an opening. And the green meanies start like skittering backwards. They go, no, please, not the box, anything but the boo-boo box. And Dad takes the bag and shoves it on one, just as one breaks its ropes and goes running off and tearing into the night. One of them has been absorbed into the bag of holding, lifted up, full over the head, into the bag, and is gone.
Thanks, I hate it.
Who are you?
He will see that this one's run. He will look at the boys, and the boys kind of look at the rest of the group. One of them looks at Thistle and frowns, but he kind of looks at the rest of the group and goes like this. And Dad will undo his armor clasp at the back. Slowpoke, you see before you an odd sight to be working with the Lost Boys. You see a grown-ass man. This man looks to be in his 30s or 40s. He is completely bald. He's got a little gray around the eye, like the eyebrows. And as he looks at you all, he reaches down at his side and his leg opens and he pulls out a walking stick. That's very peculiar. Okay? The walking stick is an umbrella. And he looks at you all and says, Do you mean to camp here for the evening?
I mean, we mean to.
All right. Be on your best behavior. These boys.
All right, we will.
These boys are under my
Who
protection.
are you?
He goes, one more question. Why are you here?
Because I'm a lost boy. And I was going to talk to Toodles about a thing.
He goes, he looks at Toodles, and Toodles nods his head. He looks at you, and as he does, he will take the umbrella and tap his chest. And that armor's going to go inside into a little like pack on his back. The wood shrinking and like absorbing into the chest. And before you stands a man in a black suit. He's got an odd-looking plastic bracelet around his wrist that you have never seen before. Looks like there's some odd writing around the plastic bracelet around his wrist. And he goes, my name is Michael, and I apologize for the theatrics.
What, Michael?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes?
Michael.
Slowpoke.
You're not.
You say it's not going to change.
You're not Michael.
He will come to where you are, and he will look at you, and he will hold a hand out to your head as Slowpoke crawls off of your head and into his hand. Slower Poke. And he bonks his little head a little bit, and then puts Slower Poke back on your head.
If you're Michael, where's your teddy bear?
We should talk. Let us sit and talk for a time. And he goes over and he tells the boys, make a fire for the night. These are our guests. Prepare any food that we have, and I will set up a perimeter around the camp. And the boys nod their head and begin to bustle about the camp. They set up a small perimeter around the camp by taking as many stones as they can and sort of setting up a wide area. As soon as they do this, you see Michael taking his umbrella and tracing in the ground around the stones. As his umbrella touches the stones, there is a pop, and you would detect a little bit of an alarm system set up wherever the stones were placed by the Lost Boys. One of those figures did get away, but Michael begins to prepare food. And he is engaged in conversation with the boys. He wants to know how their days are. He wants to know who's bothering them. It is very fatherly. Like he genuinely cares for these kids. So I'm going to give you guys a second to regroup as a group as Michael, the artificer, puts away his battle armor and begins to assist the kids and just check in on them. He goes to repair some of the items that they're walking around with and things of that sort. So you have a brief second while Michael's talking with the kids.
So do all of you Lost Boys just go off and get old and then eventually come back?
Well, I thought I was the only one who did that. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing.
How
Slowpoke.
are you doing?
Slowpoke. Michael's not a Lost Boy.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I just heard of him.
Yeah,
He was with the Lost Boys.
They don't count.
Michael doesn't. What doesn't count?
I mean, I don't know. Peter had his own classification for what was going on there. I didn't really question it. I was really away during the whole like Wendy Michael John thing. I heard a lot about it. I met him, but I was not around much. I was busy. Had things to do. Games to play.
Okay, sure. So he wasn't a Lost Boy.
I don't think so, unless he was, but he wasn't.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And what's
What?
with the
Let's go-
teddy bear thing?
What's
He had
going
one.
on?
He had a teddy bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what's
Was
Oh,
it like
so-
an attack teddy bear?
What's happening?
I don't
Was
think
it
it
a
was an attack.
magical teddy bear?
I'm not sure.
Was it a teddy bear that was a weapon?
It could. I've heard
kids are
stories
stuck
of
in a loop. I
using
have
it
no idea.
weaponized.
The kids are
That-
stuck in a loop.
Was not there very often for that whole thing.
Okay.
Why? Do the rest of you have questions?
I'm sure I'll think of some more.
What's happening? Who is that?
So a long time ago, Peter had some friends that he brought over from a different world. 3 siblings. One became the Lost Boy's mother. The other 2 became, I don't know what they were. They weren't Lost Boys, but they also were, but they weren't. And he's one of them. But now he's old. Yuck.
Hey, but you got young, so he could too, right?
I mean, it might be a Lost Boy thing, and he was never a Lost Boy.
He just wanted to be.
As Clip has a look of confusion on her face, I think Michael will come over and in his hand are bowls of stew, which he has been helping to create over a fire that's not too far away from the area. Just as Toodles goes into the tree house and then comes running out and trying to communicate that there's something in the tree house, and he's trying to.
Cool. I run into the treehouse.
Let's go.
I'm in the treehouse.
Yeah, Meeks and Dez are in the treehouse. As like Rock goes in and he's like, "There are girls in the treehouse."
It's happened before. Ask Michael.
But that was Wendy. There are 2 girls in the treehouse.
3.
There are
It's happened before. Wendy, Tiger Lily, Tinkerbell. We've had 3.
They don't count as girls.
Why not?
Because they don't. Mothers are not girls.
Well, then Clip's like a mother.
I
After
am
Eyes
a
like
mother. I am a mother. I'm tucking in my child. Excuse it and let the adults work.
Cal is so tired.
Cal.
Oh God, where's my hook?
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Who's got Cal's
Absolutely.
hook?
Cal, maybe not the best thing to say here in the Lost Boy hideout.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Say it
sorry.
out loud.
A little decorum next time. Let me just not die on your front lawn.
Thank you.
Michael can't help but laugh at the interactions that are happening right now as the 3 Lost Boys are like, I guess we're sleeping outside tonight, as they begin to like make a little encampment outside as well. Michael is dishing out stew. After a while, you guys all have a little something to eat and what looks to be a safe place to rest. Meeks is out for the rest of the night. She is exhausted.
She deserves it.
Michael tells a story to the boys to help them sleep. It is a story that involves a pirate getting his arm chopped off and spraying blood everywhere. And just as he sprays blood, the pirate begins to burp really loudly. And he is just burping and spraying blood, and the kids find it the most entertaining story of all time, and then they kind of fall asleep. As that ends, he comes over back to the group and goes, "You have questions, I'm sure."
Yeah, are you gonna get younger too?
No, unfortunately, I am not, and I.
Is it because you're not a Lost Boy?
No, it's because I am sick.
Oh, I'm really good at curing people. Hang on.
I'm sure you are, dear. And he puts a hand up. He's like, no. I'm very sick.
I'm very good at healing people.
I'm sure you are. Whatever is a part of Neverland is keeping me alive for the time being. So I am good to go. And he puts a hand up, and as he does, that little plastic bracelet that he wears around his arm kind of slides down his arm a bit with a little bit of writing on it. And he goes, "My certain sickness, the doctors actually gave me a few days, and so in a last-ditch effort, I decided to spend my last days in the place that I loved the most, never thinking that it would mean that I keep staying here."
Those days would last a while.
Those days
Here.
have lasted a while here. Yes, absolutely. So
I look to see what the bracelet says.
It says Michael Darling. It's got his birth date. It says room number 317.
It's a hospital bracelet.
And it says chemotherapy, room 74. And he, as you look at the bracelet, he doesn't do anything to hide it. He wears it on his wrist. But he looks at the group and says, "So, I'm not from around here, but I'm familiar with how things work. What is odd to me is that the fact that all of you are working together."
Yeah.
You're not the first to say that.
You probably won't be the last.
Your names, if you don't mind, so I don't have to refer to you as by height. I don't know. Clip.
Thistle, I'd still like to zap you with some healing. I have a wide variety of healing.
I would prefer you didn't.
Okay.
Thistle, Clip, and he. Eris. It's lovely. He looks at the orc.
He just kind of waves and just stays silent.
I'm used to working with silent types. That's fine as well.
He's been through a lot.
Hi. It means winter war.
I'm very aware of what it means. I'm appreciative of your people.
Undercommon. I just start speaking a completely different language to him.
What language do you start speaking?
Undercommon.
He responds in kind. He says, "May the child guide you."
May the mother raise you. And the father, too. It's because you are also a father. I am also a mother. These are also children.
Des gets very animated and speaking this language with another adult for the first time, and just it's the most animated you've seen her in quite some time. And Michael laughs and says, "I was married." He doesn't say married. "I was joined with one of your people."
Who?
And he says, it translates into, like, he says it in that particular language, but it translates into river sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
As if you were on the banks of River Sunrise, and you're not familiar with this particular individual, but he speaks of her like, "I was joined with a member of the tribe."
That is good news. I ran the funerals.
Oh, that's a necessary thing.
It was lots of fun.
He nods his head. I'm so glad. Hello, Blue Squirrel. Thank you for for hosting. We appreciate you so much. And he goes, "Now that we are somewhat acquainted, what brings you here?"
There's something we need to talk to Toodles about.
He looks over to where he's sleeping and he says, "The mimic."
Yeah.
You know about those?
I do. How much do you know?
A lot.
Do you know that he's an anchor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's very little we can do to separate him from it?
That's what we've been told. But there's got to be a way, right?
There might be.
We've heard that death is not the only way. There's
No.
also a type of ritual, but we have no insight to what that is. Not yet.
He leans forward conspiratorially and leans forward, and as he does, the fires do odd things to his face. And he says, I am unaware of a ritual. However, the green men that you saw in this clearing cheat death on an almost daily basis. When they die, they return to a mother tree and are reborn. I'm aware of what's happening with Toodles, and I'm trying to fix it.
You want to plant Toodles?
I want to plant Toodles.
Okay.
What? Is that why you had the seed?
He looks at you. He's like, I'm sorry, what?
He had a seed. A big one.
He is going to go over to the PAX. Torrid, I need you to give me a couple more rolls, birthday girl, because we're going to see how many of these kids wake up. As he looks over at the group and says, stealth is not a strong suit of mine. Is anyone here particularly stealthy in any way?
That's
yes.
me.
Des Bahai, if you wouldn't mind going over, please, to the sleeping children and digging through their packs and seeing if you can retrieve the seed that was stolen.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That is a 18.
Perfect. As you...
Ooh, let me help. Oh, she already rolled it. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. As you go over to the area and start digging through packs and things of that sort, the boys start to stir a bit and move in their sleep. But with an 18, you are able to retrieve what looks to be a basketball-sized brown seed. It's rather large. But as you go over there and start like digging through, and it doesn't take too long to finally dig through all of this area and come back to this spot and bring the seed. As it does, Michael will outstretch a hand. Taking the seed, he'll look at it and he goes, This is a open door for conversation. They are fiercely protective. You know them as green meanies. I know them as the Sylvan. They are connected to the Fey realm in an intense way, and this will provide us entry into negotiations with them.
So we're holding the seed hostage?
Yes. No.
Would Clip know anything about the Fae?
Clip, do you have a background dealing with the Fae?
I guess since I've been in nature so long, I thought they were with nature as well.
Yeah, I would say that there's a shot that you would know this. Okay.
Okay.
Eris, you've summoned someone else. You've summoned Red Star. You're summoning people all over the place tonight. You're like a Pokemon master. Thank you. Give me a nature check. Let's play into your strengths here then.
Were there any ships of the Green Men or anything out on the water, or did they stay mostly on land?
You're a green man.
Yeah, it's true. I'll say this: everybody, give me a nature check.
I got
whether you're proficient in it or not. Clip, what did you get before everybody announces what they said simultaneously?
21.
21. Okay. Clip with a 21. Anybody get? Did you get a
No, I have a -1 to nature, but it was still a 17 with that.
That's
so hey.
pretty great. That's even with a -1 to nature. Okay, so let's say this. Who got? Did anybody get above a 21 with their roll? Okay.
Hang on. Yes, I did. Captain Slavor, you already told me I could use this. Haha, 17 plus 5. 22.
Okay. How do we justify a child knowing this? Okay. All
Thank
of
you, Captain Slimeward.
all of you are somewhat familiar with the Fae presence here. Just as any place that's connected to the multiverse would be somewhat connected to the Fae realm. They stay in nature. They enjoy games. They enjoy like exchanges. You have to be careful in your dealings with them. I will say this: the Never Boys have had interactions with them, and most of their interactions with them have been something called the dance.
Okay.
Okay, the dance is a special celebration that happens where the Fae gives up all sort of pretense of any sort of problems that they have with Lost Boys and Never Boys and things of that sort, and just have like a giant party where everybody hangs out and puts their fears aside. Clip. Most of your knowledge of them is with animals and your connection to nature found therein. Your interactions with them are more of a malevolent nature. The animals know not to go near them. They're really good hunters. They hate Peter. They hate that kid. And it's not Lost Boys, and it's not they hate. There's not a hatred for all of them, but Peter in particular. This kid did something, has done something, continues to do something that there is a passionate hatred for that child.
I don't know anything about like any inkling about why they do hate him.
You got a 21. A deal gone wrong.
Okay.
Some bargain was struck, and Peter technically was in the right and got what he wanted. But he cheated the Fae, and they cheat people. People don't cheat them, and because of that, there's an underlining. You don't do deals. You don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He goes. Michael, taking the seed in his hand, goes. The boys were unsure. They were confused as to what would happen, and I've mentioned the seed several times in terms of a bargaining chip. But what I might recommend is we all rest, and then I am happy to take this and see if I can spark a conversation. Or if anyone here would like to do that and come with me and assist. Just knowing that the goal here is to release Toodles in a safe way, so that he is still around at the end of the day.
So wait, so you want to hold a baby green meanie hostage to get them to plant Toodles?
If you put it like that, it sounds worse. I want to return a baby green meanie to see if they can help with Toodles.
Michael.
Yes.
Do you even know if a human being can be planted and reborn? Is that even a possibility?
No. Absolutely not. My magic comes from a different source. I create things. I invent things. I did as a child all the time. My first invention is not really an invention. It's my brother's umbrella that seems to have magical properties associated with it. That I pretended it was a sword, and I pretended it was a magic wand, and then if you pretended in something long enough, it became that thing. A little boy walks around and finds a piece of wood, and it becomes a shield. I tested that theory to see what I could accomplish as an adult, and I've surprised even myself with some of the items I've been able to create and craft and fix and repair.
I think I should go because I went to a party with these guys, and sometimes they're mean, but sometimes they're really fun to dance with.
He looks very confused, but looks at Eris and says, "Yes, I've been known to fix things in the past."
They're dangerous, is what they are.
Clip is absolutely right. They're terrifying.
Everything in Neverland is dangerous. We're dangerous.
We still have one here. We can ask.
Yeah, he's trapped in a bag right now. I'm sure he's really happy about that.
You could certainly try. I was just going to make my way in the morning to a safe space and dump them out unceremoniously to return.
I think that works. Do you know how Toodles got connected to the Mimic in the first place?
I have no idea.
He hasn't said it?
As you say that question, he kind of turns a head to you. No, he has not said anything for quite some time. I've often wondered if that connection.
He hasn't gestured anything?
He hasn't gestured anything.
From what we've been told, you can only connect on purpose.
Correct.
If we release him, how do we know he won't just reconnect?
I am unsure. He looks to Eris and sort of like inclines his head. What, dear?
Does Toodles know?
No.
Do the boys know?
No.
How do you know?
He stops and he sighs and he reaches into his pack, and as he reaches into his pack, he pulls out a odd-looking mirror. This mirror looks like it's too rectangular. It's like it's paper size, almost like the front cover of the dungeon or the player's handbook for D&D. And as he shows you the mirror side of it, he takes a black like piece of cloth and covers it. And he goes, "This mirror was a gift, and it shows the true nature of things. The boys were having fun looking through the mirror until it was Toodles' turn, and Toodles looked in the mirror, and I saw crawling along his skin these little tendrils, this form. I explained it away as a trick of light, or that Toodles was making a scary face, but while he was sleeping, I was able to examine, and sure enough, he is anchored spiritually, physically, mentally, soulfully. He is anchored to whatever this being is."
I have a DM question. Inside a bag of holding is an extra planar space, correct?
Correct.
Different plane, or just extra planar space? Like, for example...
It is a separate plane.
Okay, so Dimension Door would not work from inside a bag of holding?
Dimension Door would not work within a bag of holding.
Okay, even if it's within range because it's considered a different plane?
You would pop outside of the bag of holding into this weird plane. It would be like...
Okay. All right, just checking, sorry.
Yeah.
Would it be like Inception?
It would be like Inception. Like the top would be... It would be more like when you ever seen one of those, like the screen that keeps shrinking down, like that's what it would.
Well, that sounds even cooler. I have to do it now. Okay, sorry.
Here. Please no.
Well, I guess we at least have our plan for tomorrow.
Yes. An infinity mirror, thank you. For the most part, he looks at the group and he says, "Rest, please. I will stand watch. There's an alarm that should wake us if anyone is to cross it. So we are carefully protected for the evening at least. And I will work and continue to work, whether you are here or gone. This has become a priority for myself."
Thank you.
They have given me my life back. So I am grateful as well.
All right, so
Slowpoke's out. Des is out. Who else is passing out hard? Cal is out.
Grab Eris for a second.
Clip grabs Eris for a second. Now, you have a small area that you are completely safe to be in. Like, this is the area where the alarm spell is set. If you would like to have a conversation, you can totally do that. But if it's within the area of the fire and the safety of the alarm spell, that's one thing. And you won't set off the alarm leaving it and coming back. But Michael is very adamant that he can guarantee your safety and alert you in this space. Okay? So this is me as the DM reiterating that as well.
Yeah. I'm staying close by. I'm waiting till Cal is snoring, though. And then I grab Eris.
Okay. Okay. Everybody's out. Everybody else can mark down a long rest for themselves, recouping hit points, spell slots, and things of that sort. Cal is out. Clip and Eris, go ahead.
I grabbed the hook.
Uh-huh.
You're asleep. He's going to ask for it back.
Right.
Do we give it to him?
I feel it's wrong to take something away from somebody that didn't belong to us.
That's
morally fair. I understand the moral reasoning behind why not wanting to give that hook back, because of how it threatened you and I.
He admitted to both of us that it was changing
Correct.
personality of himself and wanting to hurt everyone in this group.
But I trust Cal.
I also trust Cal. I don't trust the hook.
He's been able to control it thus far.
I think I will let Cal know that I have it. I will ask him if we can maybe find someone in the Bazaar to look it over. Just someone to see what's going on with it before he just puts it on his hand again.
This has probably changed Cal to an extent. I mean, we all know that. So I do think that he deserves the chance to choose if he wants to keep it or not. As much fear as it caused me to have, I don't think it's right for us to hold it back. That's his choice and his alone. I feel guilty for not having this conversation with him and being honest about how the hook terrified me. And I intend to have that conversation.
Torrid,
clearly.
Torrid, go
right.
ahead and roll probability dice for me, please.
Clearly not now. He needed to rest. But I intend to have that conversation as soon as possible. Because
I suggest we having it in the morning before he gets the hook back. Because he's going to ask for it back, and I'm going to trust you and trust him and give it to him.
I will let you tell him,
Conversation.
since you grabbed it, I will let you tell him that you have it.
But I want
And
you to
choose
tell him
when-
your concerns.
Oh yeah, no. That's absolutely something I'm going to do. I will leave it into your trust of when you want to say that opportunity that you have it for him.
Clip, is your
I think that
bag
would-
magical?
It's a bag of holding. It's a bag of holding.
Clip, do you know everything that's in your bag?
I have it written down.
Okay, something bad's about to happen.
Oh.
I asked Torrid to roll probability dice, and they have rolled a
Oh
9.
no, my bag of oranges.
They have rolled a 92.
Oh, I don't like that.
I gave a 10% chance, and they rolled in that range. So the first thing you're gonna feel is a sharp poke in the side. As this hook punctures the bag of holding, as it is moving of its own accord. Okay?
Oh.
We have never, in the history of this channel, dealt with what happens when a bag of holding is punctured.
We're in such a small space.
It's not a good thing. And the hook.
You already told us to mark a long rest. No take backsies.
No take backsies. Torrid, it is it is
backsies.
not your fault. Welcome to the world of DMing.
Oh man.
Where you are the best friend, and then you are the not best friend.
What happens when a bag of holding breaks?
If the bag is overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and the bag is destroyed. So because a lot of your items you're holding on to, I'm going to say this. I know that Torrid loves you, so I'm going to say this. Torrid, give me
through a location of the astral plane.
Torrid, give me a roll, a d6, okay? As this bag is pierced through, yeah. Always, everybody in this chat should know to keep a set of dice nearby.
Me and Eris are about to be sucked through this portal.
No, not
No?
necessarily.
No. Kinda, you know.
Okay.
If I wait another week to talk to Cal, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, Cal's asleep. So,
Yeah, I know.
At the moment.
So, okay, this is perfect. Torrid has rolled a 6. Okay, they are looking out for you. What 6 items do you grab from the bag, and the rest are scattered?
I didn't have a lot in it. I grabbed my pot of awakening. Oh gosh. My bag of oranges is very important to me. I didn't have a lot in it, so there's only like 6 things in it.
Okay, so the better question is this. Clip, do you grab the hook?
Yes.
Before it is sucked into the bag, you physically grab the hook.
Yes.
Okay? Got it. So this is what happens very quickly. This is what happens very quickly. There is a pierce at Clip's side, okay? And it slams into her, and then all of a sudden you hear this rip. As all of these items start getting sucked into the astral plane, a plane of just forgotten, it is donezo, you're not getting it back. Clip, in a rare moment of clarity, just outstretches both hands and does a huge bear hug and wraps everything in it as the bag itself is pulled into the abyss. Now, as she pulls her hand back and the bag is gone, she looks at her arms and she smiles and she looks down. And Eris, you see this. It's too good of an image not to do. The hook on her arm just swinging like this. Just touching the skin, just like this.
Like a pen, like
almost like a pendulum, almost like the tick-tock of a clock. Okay.
Wake me up.
You are currently outside of the space. You are outside of the field and stuff like that. So it's okay. I don't think anybody notices because there's no sound, there's no portal that opens up. That happens when you put two spaces inside of each other, two bags inside of each other, or like a portable hole. So nothing like that has happened. However, the hook is touching your arm.
What you gonna do there, Skipperoo?
I'm going to drop everything else that I'm holding
Okay. There's
onto the ground.
Poof.
Do you have a cloth or something?
I have a bag of cat holding. It is literally what I have.
I don't want to hurt the cat.
There's no cat in there. Oh wait, no.
Maybe.
No, I never found a cat to put in the bag, so there is not a cat in the bag of cat holding.
Is it if I touch the hook? Am I good? Is the thing gonna happen? If I touch the handle, is the thing gonna happen?
How you feeling? How you feeling, my dude? How you feeling?
You never asked how
I
it
gotta
worked.
do this. Because you are the DM tonight, you get the good and the bad. Torrid, one more time, flip a coin for me. I need a
Boy, please.
heads or a tails. Be the best boy, and go ahead and send me what you flip.
I can mage hand it off, and pull it to the ground.
Okay, you do. You do.
I forgot things.
You pull it off. Okay. So it's off, but it still touched her skin.
Yeah.
So we've got that. So Torrid, they will let me know what they land on, heads or tails, and I know. Okay, they are running to grab a coin. They are
Alright,
scrambling
so if
around.
you watch, you have to have dice, you have to have a coin, you have to have a coin. There's gonna be a whole list.
There's a whole list of things.
Required
Standard
list.
Neverland audience participation kit. So dice to coin.
I might have to keep this up. I might pick random audience members every stream to be the ones that roll some of these decisions.
I love it.
That would be so
You should pick random players.
Am I right now? What's happening? I don't even know what the consequences are right
You
now.
never asked how the hook
Stress.
works, did you?
No.
Here's roll. Jaden survives.
Did
Ah.
Zuli is typing random letters in a frantic pace.
Me too.
Feel that right here.
Just flip a die. Do odds and even.
Oh yeah, you can roll a d4.
Yeah, just spell magic on the trunk. I remember that. That was such a good.
Okay.
Oh god.
If I die, I die. You know what? I've done the piece
Hold
of
on,
it.
hold on,
If
No,
I
no,
die, I
no.
die.
Clip. Call it.
Yeah. Tails.
Okay.
Really?
You hear no voice in your head as the hook is removed. There is no mark upon your skin. You feel as if the most part, whatever magic surrounding the earth that you have channeled for a time, have protected you, and that Eris removed it with the expediency that it needed to be removed.
I just hug air.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a thing.
You know what?
All right.
Go wake up, Cal. Please go wake up, Cal. Just go wake up, Cal, please. Please.
And he's had a long rest, correct?
No.
No.
Great.
Not my.
He needs his
He
rest.
died. Please let him sleep.
Yeah. He got
I was
100%.
fireballed and shot again. Please let me sleep.
Oh my
How about this? I'm going to have this happen, okay? As the two of you are speaking, Michael is going to come over. And,
Hey, him anyways. Good.
You're going through something here. I'm going
Yeah.
to...
Through the 5 stages of grief in like 3 seconds.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm going to... I have a specialty box that I'm going to collect this thing in, and we can talk about this once the two of you have rested. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's not the bag of oranges on the ground. It is this hook-like thing.
I'm so glad you know what the bag of oranges is. Yes, that's that.
Well,
Thanks, Eddie.
I had an apprentice at one point here on the island, and so I am quite familiar with artificing in that regard. So yes, let's pick up this and put it in the box and close it, and yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I would have helped and maged hand it into the box so he didn't touch it.
Yes, yeah, and he appreciates that. The box closes, and as it does, this will not be able to be detected for a time. There is also no extra dimensional place for it to puncture, which is yay. This is a bonus for all of us. But why don't the two of you rest?
Right before I do, you mentioned that you fix things.
I do.
I took some time with this object, and I want to see if with my research that I did, and if you know anything about this. And I pull out the two, because 2 parts are together, and the third part at the sword.
Hi, kids. It's me, your good buddy Scribe, the DM. I'm gonna TLDR something for you. This ragtag bunch of adventurers have been wandering around Neverland, and at certain points in the adventure, they have found 3 parts of what has been referred to as the Pan Sword. They have no idea what it does and how you put it together. But here we are. Eris, go ahead and give me a history check. As you did research and you are trying to find out any information you can about this particular object of power.
We found the handle of that sword and a cannonball in like episode 3.
In episode 3 of the campaign.
It just lays down and goes to bed. It's like
for a while now, and we haven't gotten back to it because there was so much to do.
That's a 17.
A 17 for history.
Mhm.
Okay. 17 for history. Of course. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating my TLDR. I gotta do that more. Anytime you want me to do a TLDR, just be like, hey, Scribe, buddy, TLDR. And I'll be like, why?
What do we?
And I'll be like, why, yes, I do love to hear the sound of my own voice. Let me tell you, as Crush from Finding Nemo.
Whoa!
The parts have been closed for too long.
That's a TLDR that we can't do.
That's a name I haven't heard in many years.
Oh no!
17. Okay, so the Pan Sword. The story of Neverland is one that is ingrained upon all of the people that live here. There are certain individuals in certain places and certain names that it doesn't matter what walk of life you came from. If you were Des Bahai and took care of the dead bodies, if you were Cal and undead, and it doesn't matter where you come from, certain names stand out. Tiger Lily, Tinkerbell, Peter Pan, and the interesting thing is, Eris, as you started diving into this mystery regarding the Pan Sword, you can't remember anybody telling you this story. You could not hearken back to a time when somebody sat you down and been like, and then Peter did this, and then Tink came by, and in fact, a couple of the individuals that you talked to, they went, huh, nobody ever sat me down. I didn't know this person. I never interacted with this person, but I know who these people are. The Pan Sword fits kind of alongside there. With the 17, you don't know much information. You do know this. The Pan Sword is if Peter is life and light and trickery and boy and all of these things, the Pan Sword is an extension of his arm. The Pan Sword is not merely the sword that Peter used to go into battle. The Pan Sword is an extension of who he was. And if Peter, who is so intricately tied to the founding of this place, held this sword in his hand, if there were 3 pieces of it that were locked away, whatever this sword is, it's tied into the fabric of who everyone is and the island as a whole. The power it would take to put this together is mind-numbing. The better question is, why was it separated in the first place? Okay?
Okay.
So as you bring out these pieces and you show it to Michael, Michael looks at this with a bit of reverence. You see him smile and just laugh as he gets a little misty-eyed. Like he like takes a hand and kind of like wipes it across his face, and for the first time in a while, he goes, "Can I hold the blade? I've been wanting to do something since I've been here, and do you mind if I just hold the blade?"
I hand it to him.
He takes it, and he breathes in, he breathes out, and he takes the blade in his hand, and he brings it to his wrist, and he cuts that bracelet off. And he just stares at his wrist. And he puts the blade in both of his hands again, and he hands it back over to you. And he goes, "I've been waiting a long time to do that, and I needed it to be something that meant something to me. So thank you. Yes, I don't know how you found it. This is, it looks like Pan's sword."
Yeah, it was locked away. We found all 3 pieces in wild happenstance, if you will.
No. There is nothing wild in this. There is nothing chaotic about the fact that these 3 pieces fell into this particular group. He didn't believe in it, but there are other individuals that believed that collective energies, there's nothing that happens by chance, unless you're a wild magic sorcerer, in which case, please take a few steps backward.
I take 2 steps backward?
Oh, God. One of those. No, it's fine. No, we had one for a time, and it just went terrible. No, it's not your fault. We had to find a way to negate it. Honestly, I was actually the one that took the wild magic out of him and figured out a way to get rid of it. So.
Oh, well, I'm good. So
No.
I embrace mine, and thus far it hasn't made too much awfulness. Yet.
I have lost that teddy bear. It is lost to the ether. My brother is fine now, but the younger you are, like and
what does the teddy bear look like? Because you know what's funny? I had a teddy bear that I gave to a Neverboy.
You did? Who did you give it to?
Her name was Daisy.
Oh. Yes, well, that particular teddy bear was mine. And I was a bit chaotic when I arrived here, and I created it to harness it. If you were a wild magic sorcerer and did have this teddy bear, any wild magic surges, you would have the option to place them inside the bear to hold. Almost as if there was a higher power encouraging you, 1, to go see this lost boy that you gave the bear to again, or 2, it was quite odd. The bear was found and then placed in a bag. If you had done that, and rather than keeping the bear on your person or holding onto it, and then experiencing a wild magic surge, hyper-specifically, then you would have no way of knowing that the bear did that exact thing.
Well, especially whenever somebody might have, Yeah, I don't know. Might have been a pixie at one point or something. I don't know. That'd be weird.
Pixies are chock-a-block with wild magic.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't know nothing about that, would I?
I met one with a peg leg one time. I will never forget it.
See, Cal died last episode, but Hillary just actually died.
But find this lost boy, and perhaps you too could.
Not Lost Boy. Never Girl.
Never boy.
Boy, excuse me.
Oh, you're
Made
doomed. No. You're not getting that there back.
Well,
the Never Boys.
Honestly, she loved it. So.
Yeah, the Never Boys bond with animals far quicker than the Lost Boys. The Lost Boys will take care of it for a time, and then you'd be surprised how many animals wind up as shirts or jackets that they wear over their head or part of. Like, it's quite terrible. It's terrifying. From a child's perspective, I was able to justify it, but as an adult, I'm thinking we were just the worst.
Slowpoke like hides under Slowpoke's pillow, like he just ducks under it.
But I'm happy to help.
Yeah, I mean, really, regardless of the bear, the sword is the thing that I guess we were all wondering if. Personally, I was wondering if this could help us in any way with these mimics, but it seems like it has too much power to put together or figure out.
He hands for the sword again. All these pieces. All the pieces. Torrid, I'm so glad you said that. You good boy. This is a major roll I'm gonna have you make right now, okay? As all three pieces are handed over to the artificer, I need you to go ahead and give me. You know what? Let's just give this a straight D20, please.
I was like, why do I say things? You're not allowed to say anything anymore.
Bam!
Isn't this a good thing?
This is.
I hope it is.
This is a good. This is a good thing. This is a good thing.
This is a bad thing.
The rolls can go anyway.
No, it's a good thing.
Dickin's not here. Maybe we saw him on the beach.
Good thing you can roll low
You
on.
saw it. What?
We raced him.
Oh snap! Okay. With a 19 that they have rolled, there is some studying and some investigating by Michael, who takes it and is looking at the pieces, looking at them together, and he goes, yes. And he reaches into his pouch and pulls out pixie dust. And takes the pixie dust and puts it on the blade of the sword. And the blade floats in the air for a bit and then swivels and begins to rotate.
Oh god, it's sentient too.
Compass, sword. Compass, sword,
And
points to where
then-
sword wants to go.
And then
I can
stops.
only hand one sentient weapon in this game. Don't give me two.
And then stops, pointing in a particular direction, and then he takes the pieces again, holding them, and he goes, you have the items. Now you need the place of power.
Oh.
The blade will lead you to the place of power, and upon which, once you combine the pieces there, the sword will be combined. And you will have Pan's sword, or whatever that means. Understood?
Yes.
I would not do it tonight. There was a bag puncture, and someone died apparently, and just. All right.
You're very wise. 100%.
He hands you over the vial of pixie dust and says, there are 2 charges. So you time this out well.
DM question.
Yeah?
Would my other 2 charges of fairy fire also work with this?
How many charges of fairy fire do you have?
I have 2 more.
Okay. Yes, they would.
Great. I has 4. Lovely.
Got it. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody rest. You rest
thank
so
God.
good. and then everyone wakes up.
Everybody wakes up.
Everybody wakes up.
That's one more than last time.
The Lost Boys have vacated the premises. Meeks, they are no longer there as they are going hunting. The DM demands you rest. This group. And so you need it.
God says go to sleep.
When God says go to sleep, you go to sleep. Okay, you wake up in the morning. What's everybody doing?
And what a great night where nothing eventful happened. We all slept well, unless anyone has anything to say outside of that information that I'm saying right now.
Yeah. I mean, nothing crazy happened other than I figured out that the sword is going to tell us where to go to get the sword fixed.
That's
so there's
cool.
that. Yeah.
The sword's gonna tell us where to go to get the sword fixed. That's behind. High five.
He's a baby. Hold his hand.
That interaction makes me very happy because I've had that interaction with Indigo Chameleon.
Sword knows where to go. High five.
Okay. Upon waking, Michael has put on his armor again. His face is not covered, but you see the sort of rough armor that has been placed upon him. The spiked wood, the stones are revolving around his head, and he goes, "I hate to do this, but I'm going to set forth and talk to the Silva, who is going to accompany me."
Me.
I need to reiterate, we must be on our best behavior.
We had a dance party together. We get along great.
These are all choices that you're making, and I support your choices.
No, I want to help. I want to help Toodles.
I understand. You went to a dance party. So
I did.
Great. All right.
You want to come? She's so good with people. I have no reason not to believe you.
She's
Shinobu.
also really good with plants, and these are plant people.
Yeah.
In Undercommon, Desbahai, you hear, "We are going to die."
I fully know that.
And then he smiles and he says, "Great, great, great, great. Wonderful day."
In Undercommon. It's a surprise I haven't yet.
Eris, Cal, I'm sorry to leave you guys behind. I hope you guys can find something to do or talk about while the rest of us...
Well, why don't everyone come with at this point, then? If it's...
Because my last two choices said yes, so why doesn't everybody else come?
How are you feeling?
Yeah, how are you, buddy?
Cal, Broham, you feel great. You feel like you're missing magic, but bro, like you're getting up and you are at the tail end of a training montage in an 80s movie. Like you got tickets to the gun show? This gun show. Like it's this, it's like you are peachy keen, my dude.
All right. Other than I want to kill those people now.
That's fair. Maybe you shouldn't go.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't think you guys would notice anything along those lines, so I'm gonna say, news update, I have both my hands. We'll deal with that later.
Absolutely.
Why are you
I think we should all go.
He's looking at everybody. You're just the closest one. So I'm sure we can talk about that.
On our way there.
Speaking of which, Cal, we haven't really met, and I understand the look of trepidation on your face when we reference pirates. No offense, we just kill them because they kill us. But I don't want you to think that means we can't be friends. In fact, if you think about it, happy birthday. And he will reach into his bag and goes, this is one of my infusions. I spent all night designing it, and I hope you will appreciate it. I learned a little bit about you from your friends, and so he is going to hand you the bone flintlock.
Okay.
You don't know how it was made, but this is a gun big enough to fit your meaty hands. And it seems to be made out of the skeletal remains of something. The stock is composed of bones that are hollowed into a point. The bottom of the gun itself is a skull. And as he hands it over to you, he takes the skull and twists it, and a dagger comes out of the skull's mouth. And as he twists it back, the dagger retreats as if it is the tongue of the skull itself.
It's the lizard that holds all the potions.
Yes. Yes.
Except when he tells us.
Yeah. He goes, if you give me a bit of time, this is just something I whipped together last night. But this will allow you to shoot. But if you have a tad bit of extra time and you get up close and personal, I have an affinity for poisons. So I've coated this with a poison of mine that I'm quite fond of, that I learned.
Wait a second. What poison?
This is actually basilisk venom. So it has a petrification side of things. My wife and I kept one in the garden. I
need to meet her. I have a poisonous monkey. All this is an undercomment. I'm just talking to you.
But anyway,
monkey.
Is it just me, or have I not understood Des for the past 2 days?
This is the most animated I've ever seen Des.
Des is animated and talking, but nobody can understand her, which is just brilliant. So Cal, this is how it operates. You cannot use your other musket. That is not built for your orcish hands, buddy. You are in a different weight class right now. This is going to follow the same suits of the musket with a couple of modifications. Now, I know you and I know what games you play. So here is the deal. This gun will be able, and how I'm treating it with you, because we're doing this so late into the campaign, every artificer that you meet in your travels will be able to give you a different mod for the bone gun. So think of one gun that levels up with you, rather than getting new guns and things of that sort. So the first mod you have is, you can use an action to do this. As a bonus action, you can make a stab with the knife, okay? It is a DC 14 save on the knife. And then the person that is stabbed, if they fail the DC save, instead of Des Bahai's stunning strike, this is more of a, they can take an action, but they cannot take a bonus action and a reaction. It's almost like they got hit by the slow spell. They're operating at a limited capacity, okay? But any artificers that you meet, maybe a little girl that's at the Bazaar, is going to figure out, like, oh, let me take a look at it. Let's mod it this. Let's do this.
I can see it now, him going up to any NPC for now until the end of time, just being like, so are you an artificer?
Think Keyblade with different keychains attached to it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is your baby, and I wanted to give you something that is yours. Okay.
That's awesome.
It's the art for it is being drawn. I'm having a professional do like the stats for it, so it'll be loaded up in D&D Beyond shortly. Okay. All right. Swiss Army Bone. Nice.
He nods, and I'm sorry about last night. It was it was a rough night, and I'm not usually that way. A lot has changed in the past 12 hours.
Good God, man! You have a you have a dangle now. I'm not going to fault you for any sort of like thing that you went through. Your body has gone through a metamorphosis overnight. Please, it's fine. You do not need to apologize. And he just kind of looks at you and puts a hand on your shoulder and just like.
You got a dangle.
And he goes, no, don't apologize. It's fine. You will. Thank you, Zuli. He said what he said. It's just, the chat is freaking out. The chat is freaking out. Look, they speak through me. I am but a conduit for the voices.
They've spoken. You got it.
No.
Hey, gang, it's your good buddy Scribe. TLDR, a dangle.
Oh,
when two pirates love each other very much, they share a special bond. And in order to do no, let's stop there. Let's stop there.
PG.
PG. This is Neverland, for God's sake.
We get one F word. That's all we get.
This is a children's house.
Abort.
I can't believe the dad had to get up to talk.
It's the birds and the dangles.
The birds and the dangles. You all.
If Cal and Aaron don't have this talk this week, we're talking about Dangle.
Welcome to Never After Dark.
I think the proper term is the parrots and the fairies. You know, the
parrots and the the dangles, the dangles and the birds and the dangles.
Do not need.
What were we doing?
I don't even remember. Oh, Michael, and he goes. He sincerely goes forward and says, he pats you on the shoulder and says, "It's fine. Please don't apologize. I appreciate what you're trying to do for my friend. It's odd. Coming here again, I too feel like I am different here, and so I understand. So he goes, all right. So we're all headed out to see the silver, correct? Can we go over a few pointers first before we go? Please. Thank you, Slowpoke. I appreciate you. Rule number 1: please do not accept any gifts from them.
Why not? I really like gifts.
Oh my. All right.
You know what? Maybe we should leave Thistle here.
Rule number 2. Oh my God. This is why so many children get taken. I'm now saying these rules, and I'm seeing how Thistle. Please do not accept any food or drink that they offer you.
What if it's really good food?
Even then.
Or drink.
If not more so, then.
Tracy has a really bad thing with green men, so we're just gonna leave Thistle here.
Last but not least. Oh my God, I can't believe I wrote this and I didn't think of this. Last but not least, this particular form of the Fae, a particular group of the Fae, are travelers, if you will. You will see, I can't believe this, you will see many portals. You will see portals leading to different places. Do not, under any circumstances, go through one of the portals because there's no. We would all have to then follow you. Do we have a leash or something? A lead, a rope, perhaps that we could just.
I lost my rope in the bag accident.
I think I do still have a rope.
Oh, I've got a rope. It's got so many knots in it.
Tie our ropes together and make a rope.
All right.
So you tie the rope to me. I jump through the portal.
No.
Then you pull me back and I tell you what's on the other side. This is
I
great.
can hold Thistle by her neck and throw her through a portal and see what it is and bring her back. That'd be great.
Okay, waist, not neck. But yes, I'm on board.
As you are, as the DM contemplates what would happen should a orc throw a child through a portal and then try to yoink the child
Portal
out.
fishing, yes.
Portal fishing. But what are they gonna catch?
These are just like any
It could be
like
Gerald.
suburban like don't, if you're at a park and someone offers you candy in their portal, don't go into the portal.
Just take
If
the
they lost
candy
their
and walk
dog,
away.
He looks
They
at
don't
you.
have a puppy.
He looks at you for a second, and then stops and says, "Thistle,
Yeah.
what do you like?"
Gifts, food, drinks, and portals.
What if I could provide you with all three of those things?
That's 4.
All 4 of those things in a safe way. We have a dance party filled with portals and food and gifts after this adventure. But the stipulation is you cannot indulge in any of those things when we go in now. Because if you do, you don't get any of the ones that I make, and mine are better.
Oh, I was going to say, because either way I get them, right?
Yes, but mine are better.
How do I know that for sure?
Because I'm telling you that they are.
I'll consider it.
That's all we can hope for. Once more,
Michael is a good dad.
Michael's a great dad.
Michael's a good dad.
Michael is an amazing dad, and when
Wow.
I had this idea, I was very proud of myself. Michael, the artificer, armors up and begins to go, "All right, once more into the breach, dear friends." And as he does say that, Meeks actually stops and goes, "If it's all right with you, I think I'm going to bring these 2 home." She's got the goats cradled in her arm, and saying, "Because I don't want to do what you're about to do." Very
That's fair.
simply. But it was a lot of fun, and thank you for helping save them. And she goes over to you, Cal, and she's like, I'm really sorry. I hope you like it. Being an orc, I tried really hard.
I appreciate it more than you know.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you.
If you could wait a couple of days before you do it again, just so I can go get the stuff I need, just try not to die.
Don't plan on it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys soon, I'm sure. And she will walk into a tree. She will just like walk. The tree opens up into a. She bumps her head, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, spell components," and then she goes into the portal in the tree.
Me too.
Mood. As all of you begin to walk in the woods towards the Sylvan encampment, having been forewarned of what you're about to encounter, Eris, with the newfound compass that has 4 activations and will essentially work as a locate object for the place, okay? Pointing you in the right direction. That is where we are going to end tonight's episode, okay?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tori!
Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe.
Hey, what happened to your dad and Golden?
Tonight, I'm so
Nope.
I'm so proud. Thank you for being my assistant DM. This is never, it should never end. Yes, well, and thank you everybody who shared tonight and followed and has been, like I said, spreading the word and all of that stuff. We have lots and lots of exciting paths set out for this group of heroes. So and the campaigns to come. So we love you guys so much. Indigo Connect. And
my raid group, hang on,
and
stall. I had it and then
hey,
I disappeared it.
I did want to take a second, not just because Indigo said the
Okay,
word
I got it.
stall,
Wait.
but to
Yeah.
say, yeah, I can't believe I said the word dangle on stream. And am I ever going to stop saying weird things like that?
Never.
Never.
Let's go catch some advanced D&D with some old school Greyhawk So
Yeah.
we'll head over there and do a raid.
We love you guys. Hard hands. And